We did. Trust me. I got a plan. Okay. Sweden, go back to your country.
Sweden, go back to Sweden.
Okay, you should have your folder. Yesterday, we sought to find a peaceful solution to the Manchurian crisis of 1931. Now, here's one of the things you're learning. So far, we've had Italian aggression against Yugoslavia. We've had French and Belgian aggression towards Germany. We've had Japanese aggression towards China. How have we handled all of those scenarios in the League of Nations?
Nothing has happened.
We kicked them out.
We talk,
I left.
we argue, some of you cry, some of you flex up on and intimidate others, but ultimately the conclusion has been the same. Like yesterday, we didn't do anything to Japan. Now, before we kicked Japan out, what did they do yesterday?
They left.
The result is the same. So if you turn back and look at their desk, they are no longer Japan. Japan did leave the League of Nations, I believe in 1933, because they got criticized for invading China, which they openly admitted, yeah, we're just being aggressive. Okay? Now, they're out. Germany did get invited. In the 1920s, Germany has a democratic republic, and we don't call them Germany, we call them the Weimar Republic. So remember the stacks of cash and the hyperinflation? That was the Weimar Republic. Most people in Germany look at that government and say, you guys suck. Our economy is ruined. The Treaty of Versailles totally screwed us over, which you signed on. And they really hate their government because things are not going well in their country. Okay? We have invited them back in.
Who? The Japan.
Germany.
Germany.
Now, the year is 1935. Okay? The Treaty of Versailles placed clear limits and restrictions on Germany's military. Their size was never to exceed 100,000 men.
Whoa.
They were allowed 0 tanks, 0 airplanes, and 0 U-boats or submarines. We know this from the Treaty of Versailles. Recent evidence has been brought to the League of Nations showing that Germany has violated these limits on their military. So if you did not know, in 1933, a new man became the leader of Germany, Adolf Hitler. He has made clear his intentions of not following the Treaty of Versailles, even though Germany signed the treaty. It was signed by the Weimar Republic, not by Hitler. Hitler was a schmuck in 1919. He was an unemployed, depressed, crappy artist, to be exact.
Speaking of some kind of political.
He was not a priest.
A wannabe priest.
No.
No,
He was saved by a priest when he was like 4.
The Vienna Art School declined his application because he was a horrible artist. But if you own a Hitler watercolor today, you're a very rich man. Because they're worth a lot of money, not because they're well done.
Because he killed you.
Amongst other things. Okay? So, Hitler has instituted a new system of training soldiers in Germany that may be in violation of the 100,000 man army restrictions of the treaty. Hitler has been drafting, okay, like automatically bringing into his army 100,000 German men, training them up, and then sending them home and saying you're in the reserves, kind of like the National Guard. So you have a day job, but you've been trained if we need you. So, since 1933, the last 2 years, when he got elected chancellor democratically, Hitler has trained millions of German soldiers, all of which could be called upon to serve at a moment's notice. Hitler has also been using gliders to train German pilots in their air force, which they call the Luftwaffe in German. He recently signed a secret treaty with Russia that allows German soldiers to train using tanks and airplanes on Russian soil.
Oh, so they cheated.
So you see what he's doing here.
Let's kick him out.
Kill him.
How should the League of Nations respond to these violations? Option 1, denounce and lecture Hitler in Germany for breaking these.
Help Hitler.
Option 2 is sanction Germany and cut off all economic ties. Or option 3, we send an army in to disband the German army and make them follow the 100,000 man, no airplane, no tanks, no submarine limits. So, since the country who is surely the most afraid of Germany's alleged military buildup is France, because I remind you, Frenchmen, in 1870, you got your butt kicked by the Germans. In 1914, you got your butt kicked by the Germans. Luckily, you had lots of friends. Then you still kind of won in the end, but you really got your butt kicked by the Germans.
Yeah, it did.
Now they're building up their army again. And it would be horrible if you got your butt kicked by the Germans a third time in 80 years.
Oh,
Third
okay.
time, I bet it won't happen.
Third time is definitely not a charm if you know history.
We're gonna kick him out.
Now,
Yeah.
you guys get to talk first. What do you want us to do to Germany? Then, Germany, you guys get to tell us your side of the story and what you think we should do. And then we are going to start with Yugoslavia, and we're clockwise until we get to Czechoslovakia. Okay? Nare, I'm going to have you join the Italian team. Can you do that for us?
Oh, you got Nare.
Jake, she's going to join you.
Wait, Jake?
I'm Spain.
Here's Spain.
Okay, Sweden is going to keep a tally. France, when you're ready, you get to go first. Denounce, sanction, force, or nothing. Mike is hot.
Kick him out.
Listen,
Can they kick me out again?
Yes.
they won't though.
No.
Really?
That-
Janice, let's look out.
Tennessee, just wait nothing.
This is really
No.
No, the top three.
I would vote for it.
It's recording. We're ready.
No.
Not this time.
Okay, listen to France.
Okay, so what we want to do with Germany is option 2, because it will stop them from, what is that, trading and getting from other places. But option 3 will, they just got back in, so we don't want to kick them out. And we need the support of, so option.
Kick him out. Wait, is it Yugoslavia after France?
No, it's me.
Germany, because they're the accused aggressor. Okay, thank you, France. Germany, please explain your actions. Listen.
So, the Treaty of Versailles, with what they did to us was essentially like someone telling you that you could only have a knife in conflict. It's
Have a knife in what?
conflict.
That is something right.
Yeah, that's something when you run at me with a knife, I just shoot you.
No, because I'm
You
too
couldn't-
fast.
Yes,
We
you
all
could
got
protect
knives.
yourself, but not from people with guns.
No, but you'll still have, y'all have knives. That's sanctioned.
Oh,
Knife on knife.
yeah, but yes,
Ching,
with a
ching.
sanction, you would not remove our army. However, the sanction is bad for you, because we wouldn't be able to make any trade.
What do you have to
So we
offer
wouldn't
us?
be able, shut up, I'm talking. We wouldn't be able to give you, pay back any of the money. We wouldn't be able to pay back any of the money that you had because you won't make us make it. You won't let us make it. So go with option 1 or nothing.
Yugoslavia's turn.
Or nothing.
Derek, we got you, Holmes. Yeah. Kick him out.
Alright, we understand. We understand. Okay, we understand.
Stay on your feet, Ryan.
We understand why Hitler is refusing to follow the Treaty of Versailles, so we're going to go with option 1. I'm not going to say why.
Is it harder to talk smack on Germany when they're in the room?
And we don't want them to invade us, too.
Yeah, it is.
I'll talk too much smack.
Oh, wait, no, you get slapped.
Who's next?
I don't
Sweden.
know what happened.
I say we should ground them, because if we keep leaving them to do what they want, nobody's following the treaty, so we have to act. Because if we keep doing nothing, there's gonna be nothing done, it's just gonna fail.
Which option?
Who's next?
That would be Spain. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so we believe that the Treaty of Versailles is being too harsh towards Hitler, and he's only trying to protect his people, and he has the right to train his army to protect his people. So we want nothing to be done because we don't want to anger Hitler. He will only start a war if we anger him, and that is exactly what we're trying to protect.
No war.
Mike. Oh man, it's hot. Part of the UK. I'm not saying I like Hitler or anything he's doing, but a stronger Hitler and a stronger Germany can resist communism, which is Russia. So.
Yeah.
But they're.
So which option?
You didn't say what you wanted.
Well, nothing.
It'll.
And-
This may help.
Which one?
I gotta make a point real fast.
How can you resist?
You have to ask yourself, all the stuff you know about Adolf Hitler, which is more than most historical figures. A guy like that got democratically elected chancellor. It's not like he got really elected president. He didn't cheat, he didn't kill people, they voted for him. It's gotta be a reason why. Here's one of the reasons. What our friend from Great Britain just made a good point on is, a lot of people right now are afraid of communism. The Soviet Union had a communist revolution and quit World War I halfway through, as we know. Our buddy, Mr. Lenin from the Leninade up there, said the workers need to rise up and overthrow the rich, fat, lazy class and share everything, which sounds really good to poor people. It sounds really bad to rich people. A lot of countries are so afraid of communism that they look at Hitler and the Nazis and say, we don't necessarily like you, like you said, but you're so much better than communism that we'll live with you. And one of the reasons why he was popular, even in other countries, is they saw him as a bulwark against communism, kind of like a wall. Like, he'll keep communism out, and he did. He did a really good job of that. But you're kind of picking your whole enemy of my enemy is my friend, but he's really a terrible guy. You're just saying we like you better than communism. So that's one of the reasons why he was popular. And people like Great Britain even said, he's not that bad. Better than communists. Question.
And, both Stalin and Mao killed more people than Hitler individually, they're both communists.
Oh, way more.
Yeah, so.
Mao Zedong killed more than Stalin, Hitler, Mussolini, every other 20th century, Pol Pot. Oh, he puts everybody to shame. Because they're smart. It's way easier to starve people than to kill them with bullets and gas and concentration camps. That's expensive. Just take away their food and they'll all die really fast. So,
Never learn about that.
oh son, we're getting there. He's after World War II.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you learn whitewashed, happy, fun history until you take my class, and this is real history. People die, genocide happens, people get raped, they get shot, they get beheaded by guillotine. History is not rainbows and unicorns. And the guy Mao Zedong that Mr. Nelson is referring to is by far the greatest killer in human history. He makes Genghis Khan look like a Boy Scout leader. And Genghis Khan was like a serial rapist and murderer, right? Okay? So, making sure we understood that point about communism, we understand it. Italy, your turn.
If we anger Hitler, he will start a war, so
Thanks for
we're voting for option 1.
Poland.
What if ours is the same thing you were just saying? Like, if we pick option 2 or 3, it'll anger Hitler again, and we'll start a war. And we don't want a war because we're his neighbors, and we're not very big. So we're going with option 1.
And if there's a conflict between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany, who's the peanut butter in between those two pieces of bread? Is Poland historically in a pretty horrible spot between the Russians and the Germans because they fight a lot and they're stuck in the middle? And you're way smaller than them, Poland.
Czechoslovakia thinks that Germany should be punished, but nothing too extreme, so we think option 1 is the best option to go.
Thank you, Czechoslovakia.
That's it?
China thinks that Hitler and the Germans did violate the Treaty of Versailles, but do we really want to risk war we already have problems with the Japanese, so we put those options.
And no one wanted to help you with your problem with the Japanese, did they? Okay, thank you. Now, we look at the votes, and we have 5 nations who say, six nations, sorry, who say a good old-fashioned lecture will fix Adolf Hitler's behavior. We have 2 nations who say we should cut off trade with Germany until they stop training these troops and breaking the Treaty of Versailles. And then we have 2 nations who say nothing. Would anyone like to make a point or clarify or persuade someone? Excuse me. Gentleman from Sweden, here you go. Listen.
We have, if we all combine, we have enough army to take him down. But if we wait, he's gonna just keep growing with his army, we're not gonna be able to do anything. So the best time to go in and war right now would be either punish and ground them or go to war right now. Because later would not be possible.
So you want another war?
Germany, would you
War,
like?
but it'll be a faster one. Because it's 9 against 1. 9 will win over 1.
Well, he has to agree to war for us to go to war.
Yeah.
The cost, like a bunch of people die.
Germany, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, Germany.
It may be 9 against 1, but I count 2 people with armies that have more than like 1 million people.
Yeah!
So 9 against 1 doesn't, it would be like 2 people with muscles and then a whole bunch of me. Fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger. It won't work.
We can at least try. Let's change our option.
No, leave it at 1.
Let's send an army.
No.
I'm gonna tag in
Ryan.
Justin and the Rock.
Team Italy. Take me in, Team Italy. Okay, question for you, Germany. I'm just curious. Did anyone ask him what he's doing and why he's doing it? Because has he invaded anyone or declared war or killed anybody yet in 1935?
Nope.
Even his own people, largely. There have been some political assassinations and things like that, but there's no concentration camps, there's no mass murder
Not yet.
yet. Okay, we don't have a time machine.
That's why
So
we give
as
them
the
extra.
Italian delegation, like we said, we're sympathetic. Like, the Treaty of Versailles was very unfair. To limit you arbitrarily to 100,000 men, no tanks, no aircraft, no submarines, that's like telling you, you can't own a gun. And everyone in the neighborhood knows you don't own a gun. I'm robbing your house, because what are you going to do, hit me with a baseball bat? Because we all have armies and tanks and aircraft and submarines. Don't we think that all men and nations have the right to self-defense?
Yes.
So my question is, why train these guys up? Why go fly the gliders and train the tanks? Like, what do you need him for? Why are you doing it? What are your plans? Before we condemn him and crucify him, I want to know why you're doing it.
Because he's Derek.
Honestly, he's doing it.
Isn't that an important question to ask before we vote?
Actually, I actually got an
I want to know his motive.
We are building up our army to a reasonable amount so that we can prevent unnecessary and unwanted and not very nice invasions like what the French did to us when they took over the
You brought that on
factories
yourself.
of the river. So we're just doing that to prevent being invaded ourselves by the French.
The French invaded, like,
Anyone.
Or the Russians. And the Russians, I mean, we don't have all the largest armies. Well, also.
Yeah, that's okay. He's just next.
Well, also, I mean, we're the only thing standing in between communism and you guys. So.
except in ocean.
No.
If it
You
gets
are
into
the only
continental
one.
Europe, though,
Yeah.
who's
You're
gonna
the
stop
only
it?
one, Chansey.
Earthquake.
But, yeah, I mean, who's gonna stop communism if they get past our, so the Treaty of Versailles says 100,000 lives on it. That's nothing. So, if you wanna stop communism, let us have fun.
Yeah.
Gentleman from Sweden.
Oh, well, an army is good for protection, there's 9. So still, if you get your army just where we want it,
What?
you guys won't be overpowering anybody, and we won't be overpowering you.
Communism.
Doesn't your partner have to talk
So
to
yeah, a
you?
longer
Talk?
war.
No, but
Mario's just
that way,
dominating right
when
now.
No, he ain't.
if he overpowers
Still got
them,
my
it's not gonna be a war at all. Just come and invade everybody eventually.
To invade Sweden, I would have to go up through Finland, Norway.
Where you
That's a
from?
long ways.
And probably
Yeah,
through,
it's
no,
not
through the
that
Soviet Union to
Russia.
get to them.
I can't invade
Aren't
Sweden
they
easily.
partners with Russia right now with the train?
They sort of have a mutual understanding that we're not gonna fight each other.
So,
But
how can they protect us if they're not gonna fight each other?
They're just saying, okay, remember when we did the alliance game before World War I and you made treaties?
Yeah.
What's that type of treaty called? I won't attack you.
Mutual defense.
Mutual.
Non-aggression pact. It doesn't mean we're friends. It means I won't attack you, don't attack me. Deal? We don't have to be.
I want to be.
I don't want mutual defense. You'll drag me into wars. Okay? They basically have a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union. We won't attack you if you don't attack us. That does not mean they're friends. And that does not mean they're both going to honor that pact. It just means they pinky swear not to invade each other. That's it.
That doesn't stop him from invading other countries.
Well, he hasn't done that.
He may be not invading us right now, but he has a ton of small countries around him that he could start invading.
Do you have a time machine?
No, but it's just logic because he has a bigger army and bigger army. Bigger army
Put your hand.
equals more power, and more power equals more land.
So
I
I'm
know.
not gonna start using this time machine thing
Come from?
during 1937-ish
Straight out of Sweden.
when so Czechoslovakia had one of the largest
Armies that would have fought on the side of the Allies, and it was on the east side of Germany, but Britain gave Czechoslovakia to us in 1937-ish. They let us do nothing. So Czechoslovakia, the future has told me that,
You guys gotta
These
stop
guys
it with the
won't
time
like
machine
you.
stuff.
so just think about that. They don't like you. They gave them to us. We could have stopped that.
Yeah, you take stuff from us in the future.
Hot tub time machine
Why
too.
would
You kill millions of people.
Okay, does anyone else have a point they'd like to make
I wanna
before
watch
we
that
vote for
movie
a final
now.
time?
What movie? Go
Can we
for it.
watch Hot Tub Time Machine too?
No.
Oh.
Okay, we are going to vote a final time. If you do not know exactly how your partner wants to vote, you need to consult them, and then we will go through the options. You have
Let's
30
send an army
seconds
like
to
Mario
figure out how
Kart.
you're gonna vote.
No, shut up. Hey, just all go for one or nothing. Go on.
Go for three.
Ah!
Three guys. Race.
Hey, hey.
Chelsea. Ah! Derek, what do we do for Spanish?
On your foot?
You
Yeah,
you
you
finished
guys
the
vote for saying they're gonna fix nothing.
Okay, all those in favor
Of one, everybody won.
of lecturing Hitler and denouncing him, please stand. You both have to stand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, what did you say?
Lecture, denouncement. 5, stand.
What are you doing?
I count 6 for denouncement.
Stand up.
Hey, way to be.
You best get up.
Okay, thank you. You may be seated. All those sit. All those in favor of sanctioning Germany and cutting off economic ties, please stand up for option 2. Do you agree with that?
I don't.
What did I tell you about the rules? Your vote does not count unless your team agrees, right? That's how the real League of Nations rules say. Okay, who says force? Just to be a jerk. 2. Who says nothing? 1. Okay, here's what you have to see. You should not be surprised. All your stuff goes in the folder. Folder goes on the back table. And listen.
Listen, listen.
Listen, Linda, listen. Linda, honey, listen.
We're not doing a very good job of this.
Dude,
We're doing what?
it's not your fault. It's the
Yeah.
League of Nations' fault.
Okay. Listen. Academic lunchers, get out of here and go do your work. The rest of you listen. I asked you guys this question at the start of this whole simulation last Friday. If the main purpose of this body is to prevent future wars, we agree that's the main purpose, right?
Yeah.
Have we done a good job of that yet?
No.
Here's the argument. Everybody is afraid. Zane, listen.
Communism.
No, everyone is afraid of wars to the point that we're letting wars happen in the name of avoiding war. Well, we don't want a war with Germany. We don't want a war with Japan. Well, then you're letting those little wars happen. Here is the lesson. We are absolutely picking on Germany and making them a scapegoat. Of course, Hitler's going to do horrific, evil things later, but so far he hasn't. And he is Time Magazine Man of the Year in America, and he brings Germany out of the worst depression of the 20th century by far. That was only possible because of how unfair we were with the Treaty of Versailles. And do the German people feel picked on by all of those countries? Did we completely destroy them after World War I? No. We didn't kill them all, but were we nice to them?
Yes.
Semi, yeah.
No. We ruined their economy. You invaded them. So what are they going to do?
Kill us.
Get revenge. If you didn't know that. How